Those girls do that all the time. Those little girls, they do that. Got no headgear. Nothing. Thanks, brother. I wish I could do that with my father-in-law.
Every time I see him on the holidays, I'm not sure how it's going to be. He lives in Grass Valley with my mother-in-law. And they built a big house in the 1980s, and it's got lots of rooms upstairs. I think there's a room for every daughter and every son when they come to see them on the holidays. So,
Do they come in every time?
no, well, sometimes, but we come on the holidays. So, it's usually a matter of, when we get there, which room could we get? Which room could we get? Which room could we get? But
We've got to get there first,
my
Jonathan.
father-in-law,
We've got to get there first.
it's not really, yes, perhaps, but it's more like, it's my mother-in-law. She built all those rooms so she could have her family come. And my father-in-law, he's a little not so sure. He likes his solitary time. He was born in South Dakota. And his dad and he were sort of,
Love you, son.
yeah. And, that's close enough.
Last weekend I was up in Seattle at my great Uncle Charlie's 88th birthday party. Uncle Charlie is... My grandmother had 15 brothers and sisters. They're Catholic. They lived in Wisconsin, out in the back, and they didn't have much to do. And so he's the last remaining of the 16 kids.
The last remaining breeder.
That's exactly right. And he's still breeding. Believe it or not. Actually,
Breeding after all those years.
he actually plays the guitar. And the name of his band is the Hanky Pankies. And the Hanky Pankies have been together for 40 years. And they're playing at Uncle Charlie's 88th birthday party. They're lined up in a row with their white, kind of pull-down, orange Welkish, kind of white buttoned-up shirts, and they have a lasso and a woman, and I think she's kind of like this, and there's a hand and a man, and they're the Hanky Pankies. They play this swing music, but it kind of swings at an odd tempo. It's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, oh, yes, 3, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, hey, boom, hey, boom, hey. My cousin Shelley is there, and I don't even remember her. But she's 3 years younger than me, and we're all sitting at the table, and she walks in, and she's 5'11", and she's blonde, and she kind of struts like this. She's got this little strut, and she comes in, she whips her hair back and sits right down next to us all and says, I had a crush on you when we were kids. And her mother chimes from across the table as I'm thinking to myself, what do I say now? I don't even remember her. She had a crush on me. I don't even know who she is. And her mother chimes in, yeah, it was around for a while. We dealt with that one for a while.
We're sitting at the table at my father and mother's-in-law, and it's always a matter of like, what do we talk about at the...
Not politics.
Oh. No. Keep the conversation more a little light. So, how are the kids doing in school? How's your stock portfolio?
Well, my kids are doing okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember that letter I sent you last month? About the thing about Dad?
Public school. Could you pass the potatoes?
Please.
Thank you. I suggested to him, Jim is his name, that perhaps he should go on a little, it's Andrew Wheel. He likes to be an Andrew Wheel. He calls it an information diet, a media diet.
I need to
Because
inform my body.
he takes a walk around his property, listening to Rush Limbaugh. You know, and that's when he's not watching Fox News. He's being informed, and he's very strident about his opinions. But
Shelley and I
just don't know.
No,
I can
we did.
talk to him, and
I can't.
because there's a few times when it was sort of like more collegial, when he would sit on the couch with me and we would sort of talk about policy. And we could debate it. And what he really liked is that I could say, yes, I understand your point of view, because from that side, this is what I see. And
Love
he
you,
would
Slim.
sort of, he would almost sort of like be purring a little bit, because somebody to talk to. Not be silent. Talk to me politics.
Shelley and I ended up going to a grunge rock and roll bar late Sunday night in Seattle. We walked in, and there were only about 12 people in the bar, kids, probably in their 30s. And the bar was pretty big, but everybody was really close. And everybody had tattoos all over their body. And there was this one little guy. His name was Al. He was Japanese, and he was round. He was so jovial. I don't even think he'd had a drink. But at a certain point, after I think he had a drink,
My father-in-law likes to pour Merlot and Chardonnay. And we all drink quietly. And then my mother-in-law likes to lay on the couch. It's usually about 7:45 to 8:15, and takes her nap before bedtime. But my father-in-law then likes to go to the alternate channels. It goes to his own raunchy wires.
Al walked up to me at a certain point, and he threw his arms around me. And then he grabbed Shelley and threw his arm around her leg, because he was really short and she's really tall. And he looked up at her, and he looked at me, and he said, I just want you two to know that this is my bar, and you're welcome here anytime, because you two are the most beautiful people that I've seen in this bar in 6 months. You guys are beautiful. You're beautiful. You can crash at my house anytime. I love you guys.
That's what I wish my father-in-law would say to me.